of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique.
Unique.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
And unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yeah, it's okay. We're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show.
My dear friends, President Biden just gave his speech on on national television, and the thing he said is that our NATO allies are with us, and you know, I don't want to beat up on the old guy, but I got to tell you, I mean, you know, the president of Germany said that Afghan turmoil shames the West. What's he thinking? He has to say these things so he could feed fodder to those people out there that, you know, I guess are less understanding of things. The president said of Germany, "We are experiencing a human tragedy for which we share responsibility." And because it had the second largest Germany contingent in Afghanistan after the United States. And they want to airlift thousands of German, Afghan dual nationals, as well as rights activists, lawyers, people who work with foreign. And anyway, so as we know, this is having a difficult period here. So each country has their own agenda. But it's a shame to the West. And he's been criticized. Angela Merkel, she wants refugees quarantined safely in countries neighboring before they come into the EU, which is a smart asylum program policy. You know, quarantine them safely, find out who they are. Unlike our border here in America, that's Biden has been opened up where anyone comes in. And because Germany 6 years ago opened up its border to over 1 million Syrian migrants. And it gave her applause abroad, but the Germans aren't too happy with that. Kind of a shame, isn't it? And so Biden comes on and he gives a speech. So what? You know, politics is disheartening because the networks and the American people don't get the truth. I don't care what end of the spectrum you fall on, Democrat, Republican. We have to tell the American people the truth, try to give them the truth. Afghan turmoil shames the West. That's what he should have said. I'm sorry for shaming the West. Of course, he took responsibility. He said, kind of the buck stops here because the left likes that. And now they're going to, as they're doing this, they're really going to impose tax hikes on small businesses. Think about that. Yeah, Biden and Pelosi. He promised the American people, Biden, during his campaign, that he would not raise taxes on the small businesses. Now he's violating that promise. And next week, House Democrats will vote on the framework to make tax hikes possible. And Biden's small business tax promise was made on February 20th before a national audience during a Democratic debate hosted by MSNBC. And this Haley Jackson said to Biden, I want to ask you about Latinos owning 1 out of every 4 new small businesses in the United States. And many of them have benefited from President Trump's tax cuts. And they may be hesitant about new taxes or regulations. Will taxes on their small businesses go up under your administration? And Biden said, no. Taxes on small businesses won't go up. So while everyone is watching Afghanistan, and where they should, get ready for what the House is going to do. Biden lied to the American people, another politician lie that the Democrats continually to do. That's why that's why Biden didn't win re-election. Bush won. Remember he said no new taxes? And then he started the Gulf War and he had to raise taxes. And Clinton came in. That's when Ross Perot ran, remember? The upstart Ross Perot. So this week, the White House tried to downplay this by asserting Biden's increase in the top marginal income tax would only hit 3% of small businesses. 3% of 31.7 million small businesses is just about 1 million small businesses. And the White House failed to mention the 1 million small businesses organized as C corporations. He calls for a federal corporate tax increase to a higher. Hear what I'm saying? While Afghan is going on, that debacle. A higher tax rate than communist China's rate of 28%. So, in other words, let's put this in figures. About 2 million small businesses will get hit with the Biden tax increases. And it doesn't even include the number of small businesses that would go hit from Biden's elimination of stepped-up basis, which is something else. He's pulling a series of tax increases on your small business out there. You guys that have been suffering for over, 2 years now because of communist China and COVID, and we will continue to suffer. So Biden wants to raise Biden's increase in the top marginal income tax rate to 39.6% will hit small business sole proprietorships, LLCs, partnerships, and S corporations. He wants to raise the top marginal tax rate to 39.6%. That's 40%, my dear friends. So you make $1, the federal government will tax you 40 cents on that $1. Think about it. Think about that, my dear friends, while Afghan is going on. This is what Biden's doing. He's undoing everything that Trump did because Trump did bad tweets. And he said a few things that were questionable. Wasn't so nice to mommy and daddies out there that are going to not be able to put food on your tables. You're not going to be able to put the food on your table for your kids. Supply them for education. No, because they're going to expand government and crush business. This is what communism does. Communism wants you to suck off the tit of the government. And it expands the government tit so you can suck hard on it. And then if you don't listen to them, they'll take it away from you. Yeah, that's right. They'll just take it away. Oh, that's enough. You had enough. Whoops. Or you know what? You're not going to get fed because you've been a bad boy or bad girl. Shame on you. Shame on you. Now, this won't affect Larry David, the bigot of the week, on my wall of bigotry, who had this big outpouring of hatred against the disgusting Alan Dershowitz, as he called him. I talked about that the other day. This is not going to affect the elite of Hollywood or the elite in the media. No, this is going to affect you. Yeah, if you're listening to my voice, it's going to affect you. Get ready for it. The majority of both corporations and pass-throughs in 2011 had fewer than 5 employees, 55% of C corporations, and 64% of pass-throughs. Nearly 99% of both corporations and pass-throughs had fewer than 500 employees, the most common employment-based threshold used by the Small Business Administration. Biden's corporate income tax rate hike from 21% to 28% targets 1 million small businesses across the country organized as corporations. As noted by the SBA Office of Advocacy, there are 31 small businesses. 25.7 have no employees, while 6 million have employees. Now, this is all figures to you. It doesn't matter to you. But Biden claims his spending plan makes large corporations pay their fair share. However, the plan raises many small business taxes that are structured as corporations. And the U.S. Chamber of Commerce found that almost 1.5 million small businesses organized as C corporations will get hit by Biden's tax. Okay, state by state. And let's talk about this. In Arizona, 31,400 employees will see their taxes increased, including 21,646 small businesses with fewer than 500 employees. So under Joe Biden's plan, Joe Biden, you voted for him. Mommy, because you didn't like Donald Trump's tweet, Mommy, you voted for, hey, business owner, you didn't like Trump's tone, but you voted for Joe Biden. So Arizona's combined state and federal. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. Did you know withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. So please listen up. Are you aware that banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any behavior they think is suspicious? It's true. I was shocked as I read Swiss America's blockbuster report, The Secret War on Cash. This new war against cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. Listen to me. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Now get your free copy by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. Or visit SwissAmerica.com. This war on cash is growing daily and also includes all forms of digital money. So please, get ahead, read The Secret War on Cash free to every Robert Davi fan today by calling 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. And then you'll thank me later.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavanols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
Robert Davi.
I want you to know this is nothing personal. It's purely business. I think Frank Sanchez would have made a better president than Obama for small businesses. He would have known how to stop the drug trade in America. And Sanchez was the character I played in License to Kill. And I'm talking about, as with all focusing on Afghanistan, the House next week is going to go in, Pelosi, headed by Pelosi, who should be pulled out of office, along with Schiff and Schumer and McConnell, and the rest of these politicians that don't tell you what's happening, and the weak, ineffectual GOP that has no cojones. They don't know how to. Either that or they're. You know what it is? Anyway, let me just tell you this, Mom and Dad, you guys listening out there, wherever you are, whatever platform you're listening to, you will get hit hard. Mom and Pop. Biden tax hike will hit you hard. Not only will the rise of gas and inflation and everything else we're seeing, because it's such a vague commitment that he said he pledged no new taxes on incomes under $400,000 on mom and pop businesses. But that seems to conflict with a lot of what his tax plan he previously rolled out. With up to $23 million per married couple currently free of federal gift and estate tax, most of us won't pay the death tax. So most mom and pop businesses think mostly about income tax, not estate tax. Yet Biden, Joe, out there, the nice Joe, who's a nice guy, everybody likes. They didn't like Trump's tweets. They didn't like Trump's style. But Joe can get away with it. The horse whisperer can get away with this because we like him, don't we, Democrats? And GOP, independents, whatever. Whoever decided because, anyway, I hate beating up on this. Biden's tax plans reflect a massive change to how the income and the estate tax interact, which amounts to a huge tax increase. That's it. Now, Congress, Nancy Pelosi, is going to push this through. Capital gains, and I'm not an accountant, but this has been going on, a death tax. So in other words, guys, you've been taxed your whole life. And now, what you've been taxed on will be taxed even bigger when you die. And I think the black community should be really upset about this, and Hispanics, because they're talking about the wealth that gets passed down. So if there are entrepreneurs out there waiting to, create wealth for your family, which is a good thing to do. It's an engine. See, under the current tax law, assets that pass directly to your heirs get a step-up basis for income tax purposes. It doesn't matter if you pay estate tax when you die or not. So for generations, assets held at death get a stepped-up basis to market value when you die. Small businesses count on this. Say you have a family business worth $20 million that you started from scratch, the sweat of your brow. How is it taxed if the married couple dies? Well, right now, the business goes free of estate tax to the kids because, they paid taxes. If both parents die, the $23 million estate tax exemption should mean no estate tax for that $20 million business, and the business gets a step-up in basis for income taxes, too. So, mom and dad die, and Junior gets the stock in the family company, no matter how small mom and dad's tax basis was in the stock. The stock gets stepped up to market value on death, $20 million. That way, Junior can run the business or can sell it for $20 and should pay no income tax. Or Junior could try running the business for a year or two, and maybe it's going to be worth $22 million then. But if he sells it, he has a $20 million date of death value basis. Of course, this example is simplistic. It ignores the fact that the business itself might make the sale. After all, most buyers won't buy stock, will they? So here's what happens. This little example shows an example of our estate tax system for generations. Everybody gets a stepped-up basis on death for income taxes. But Biden says maybe no longer. Biden says that that'll be gone once he is president. Biden's proposal would tax and assets unrealized appreciation at transfer. So you mean Junior gets taxed whether or not he sells the business? Yes. The idea that you could build up your small business and escape death tax and income tax to pass it to your kids is on the chopping block. Biden would levy a tax on unrealized appreciation assets passed on at death. And by taxing the unrealized gain at death, heirs would get hit at the transfer, regardless of whether they sell the asset. This is the Democrat. Ask me what they're trying to do. Please, I'm asking you to watch the movie Dr. Zhivago. Dr. Zhivago, when you were a kid, you probably watched it because Omar Sharif had a lovely affair with Julie Christie. Romantic movie to most of you. Watch Dr. Zhivago. It's happening in America right now. Watch it. The unfairness. So a black family that works 10, 15, 20 years, your accumulated wealth is now gutted. And you're saying that, but you know, it's happening. The Democratic Party is bereft. They don't understand. They are Marxists. I'm sorry. I want to unite the nation out there, but you guys, you got to see what's happening. You've got to have some kind of, you've got to wake up. You've got to wake up. 51% now. Biden's not up to the job. Let me tell you about Biden. Back when Obama ran for office, there was a driver I had from, South America. And he was looking at the election. And I was driving to the airport. He was somebody taking me to the airport. His name was Oscar. And I said to him, "Hey, you're political?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, I don't listen to politicians. He goes, "I watch them." I go, "What do you see?" He goes, I like Obama." I go, "Okay, why?" Because he's a lion. He's a lion. Really? What did you... old white woman. Weak. Another weak white guy. Another weak. But Obama's a lion. So that I says, "Oh, okay, I understand that." So that made me think that a lot of people understand optics. A lion protects the pride. So a lot of immigrants pouring into this nation, I wonder what they're thinking. Do they think that Biden is a lion? Could they conceivably think that Biden is a lion to protect the pride? What about Afghanistan? You see, power, you need to have strength with tribal situations. They believe in leadership. They believe in strength. And those people in Afghanistan, the Taliban, have gone through rough times with the Russians, with Americans, with themselves for thousands of years fighting. Do you think they look at Biden as a lion? No, America is worse than a paper tiger right now. That's our standing around the world, my dear friends. Make no mistake about it. Davi back in a minute.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, Hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
This is Robert Davi. Allow me to introduce you to the most trusted name in precious metals, Swiss America. Since 1982, they've been helping Americans protect their wealth from dangerous government spending and runaway debt. Now, it's no secret gold and silver prices have rocketed over the last decade. With all of the rising uncertainty, experts say precious metal prices are headed much higher in the months and years ahead. Now, to help protect my fans, Swiss America has a very special offer. Swiss Walking Liberty half dollars at the amazingly low price of $12.50 each delivered. That's right, $12.50. So call now, reserve your silver coins at 866-219-3750. That's 866-219-3750. Silver Walking Liberty half dollars from Swiss America for just $12.50 each delivered while supplies last. Again, 866-219-3750. 866-219-3750. Do it today.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, is that a Q2 or a Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA. To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Robert Davi Show.
This is authentic.
Una furtiva lacrima negli occhi.
So, let's put another guy on the wall of bigotry today, Michael Moore. So we've got Larry David. I think it's time for independents, conservatives. Let's make a wall of bigotry. Also, if you're listening on any platform that you can hear me on, you can DM me on Twitter at Robert John Davi and ask me a question if you want. You can do that. It could be fun. Maybe, or some topic you want me to wax eloquently on or whatever. So Michael Moore compared Christian conservatives to the Taliban. They're religious nuts. This is what Michael Moore said today, or the other day. And we know he said this. He said this in his, it's likening oppressive Islamic law. And I said to you the other day, I said, well, you know, Mikey, go to Afghanistan, go to Iran, go to a country that has under Sharia, and then tell me if Christian conservatives are that way. Because I don't believe Christian conservatives are beheading Muslims in America. I don't believe they're doing that. And unless we speak up against this continued attack on people with religious and spiritual values in America, and if we continue to let Hollywood, these bigots, go we have to point them out. We have to have a wall of bigotry, because it's like what Rosanna Arquette said about she said that the people at the thing in Washington on January 6th, that they were the Taliban. This is the new thing now, the Taliban. And I experienced this when I did Pollywood, a documentary that Barry Levinson did. And a bunch of, we had Frank Luntz did a town hall with a bunch of conservatives during the McCain election, the GOP convention there in Minnesota. And do you know, it's amazing. Amazing to me. It's amazing to me that people get away with bigots. Bigots. We have to have a wall of bigotry because unless we can work together, unless we can accept each other's differences of opinions without demonizing, and I get angry, yes, and I demonize sometimes because they're incorrect. They're incorrect. The policies are wrong. As a father, you look at something and you know if your children are, anyway. So this is this guy. He goes, in America, but Christians and members of the jihadist organization as religious nuts. He's saying that about you. Yeah, religious nuts. How terrible. How terrible. So now, Michael Keaton warned Hollywood celebrities to be cautious about wading into politics because they can end up doing more damage than good. But he exempted his own political activism, which includes endorsing and campaigning for Joe Biden and publicly trashing former President Donald Trump and Republicans. What's that? A long time ago, he said, I learned you do more damage because you're famous. He said this in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter. I've told people, you don't want me there. They'll go, well, of course, he brought his Hollywood friend. You know what people forget? We're all just the same person somewhere in Cincinnati or Ottawa or effing Cleveland or wherever. So he said this. And he endorsed Biden last year in a video. I'm Batman. And he called Biden Authentic Joe, describing him as a man like his father and those of that generation. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he'd like to play him in the movie I'm doing. Hey, Mike, I want you to play. I'm doing a film called My Son Hunter. Mike, I want you to play Joe Biden. I don't want to do a slam piece, so come aboard the film. Have your agent call us. I want you to play Joe Biden. Would you play Joe, Mike? And he says, don't do it just for Joe and Kamala. Do it for your little brother, your little sister. Do it for the next generation. Do it for the environment, for justice, for equality. And just to end this insane chaos. This is what he said about for Biden when he was in Pennsylvania, which is his home state. So this is what happens. This is what he did. This is what little Mikey did. Another one. I won't put him on the wall of bigotry. But I'm just saying, don't campaign. Now people are saying celebrities shouldn't get into politics. Well, they already did it. They did the damage. How do you feel now about Authentic Joe? How do you feel now about Authentic or China Joe? I mean, are you going to totally negate the deals made with China and everything else? Are you going to negate that? Are you going to look the other way? And, oh, God, it's beyond me. Today's a Friday. I feel more poetry than anything else today. What could I do? What kind of poetry can I give us? It's, how about, I'm thinking Dover Beach. Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. Yeah, my show, I'm just, we're hearing it. We're getting hit over the head by so much stuff. Here's Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. What I feel right now, a little poetry. The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full The moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast, the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window. Ah, sweet is the night air. Only from the long line of spray where the sea meets the moon-blanched land, listen. You hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return. Up the high strand, begin and cease, and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breach of the night wind, down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another. For the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here, as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. It's Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. Poetry cleanses. We need more poetry in our society. We don't need rap. We need poetry that cleanses. A cleansing, but not a I mean, and I'm not knocking rap. There's some great tunes and stuff like that, but I think the dissidence in our society today comes from a lack of poetry. And we need to infuse our nation with poetry. We need leaders that have a sense of poetry. Not lawyers, not equivocators, not politicians that tear your soul apart. Davi, back in a minute.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Columbo's, since 1954, has been serving up fine dining in a relaxing atmosphere and all at an affordable price. Columbo's is still doing something right. It's why so many travel from the West Side and the Valleys to experience and enjoy what Eagle Rock has known for years. Columbo's is truly something special. Columbo's serves up some of the most succulent, delicious steaks, as well as outstanding seafood offerings in all of Southern California. And the Columbo family's Italian specialties are worth the trip from anywhere. Columbo's is a memory maker. Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock, 323-254-9138. 323-254-9138. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, serving up fine dining in a relaxing atmosphere and all at an affordable price. Columbo's, of course.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute. Jodie Comer plays a daredevil avatar in a video game who wants to enlist a supporting character, Ryan Reynolds, in a desperate effort to save their fantasy world in Free Guy. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
This world, it's a video game. We need you to be the good guy.
I'm not going to be the good guy. I'm going to be the great guy.
And this turns out to be an unexpectedly great movie, full of clever twists and inside jokes. The special effects are spectacular, bringing to life this parallel universe controlled by game players in the real world, where the goofy, good-natured Free Guy insists on taking an independent role. Rated PG-13 for scenes of danger and destruction, and too complicated for small children to follow, Free Guy is nonetheless enchanting entertainment that can reach even those of us who don't much care about video games. 3.5 stars for the surprising and satisfying Free Guy.
The Robert Davi Show.
Mike? You let me down, Mike. You're making me look bad. I thought we had an understanding. And all I expect is a little cooperation!
Sorry, Robert.
There's a great Shakespearean play, many Shakespearean plays. One is The Merchant of Venice. And one of the great speeches of Shylock is the "Hath not a Jew eyes" speech. And I'd like to do that speech today, but I'd like to change it just a little bit here and there, just because I feel that in our world today it needs just a little tickle, just a little updated approach to it, and not to The Merchant of Venice, but the sentiments of this speech give us something that I find interesting. So, he's talking to Celerino, and they're talking about, what the Shylock does, but I'm going to change the meaning of it a little bit, because Shylock says to bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it would feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me, hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a conservative. Hath not a conservative eyes? Hath not a conservative hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer, as a Democrat is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a conservative wrong a Christian, if a conservative wrong a Democrat, what is his humility? Revenge. And if a Democrat wrong a conservative, what should be his sufferance? By Democrat example, why revenge? The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. That's from The Merchant of Venice. And the GOP doesn't know how to do that. They take it with their legs wide open. They take it, and Pelosi dishes it out, and Schumer dishes it out, and MSNBC, and CNN, and the rest of it, and Hollywood, and no one says anything. They let it go unanswered. Well, I'm here. I'm the anecdote. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer every hypocrisy on the left and on the right. No more time for hypocrisy in our nation. Yes, you know, I said, I made a point of pointing out about Larry David, and I got some DMs from people on Twitter that I'm affectionate toward. And you know what they said to me? They said, Larry, how could you do that? Dershowitz was this, and Dershowitz was that, and Dershowitz... No. I'm not talking about Dershowitz. I'm talking about Larry David's response to a friend of his, that we can't, as people, have a vehement, passionate difference of agreement and not discuss it and still be friends. Why? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we discuss it? Can you take the heat? I can. People say wonderful things to me. They say nasty things to me. God bless you. I won't denigrate your point of view because I have a strong one myself. And we need to have a GOP that has a strong point of view. No more weakness. California can change America. I can't tell you how important this election is. I mention it every single day, and I will until the election, September 14th. Vote yes on recall. You must vote yes on the recall. We have to find out. You know, anyone functioning in California, any functioning individual, why is it that the victim mentality, you know, the Democrat Party needs to keep you poor, you guys, in the inner cities. They need to keep you weak. I'm sorry, they do. They need to keep you victim. They could lift you up through education and through programs in the inner cities. They can. You know what? Why don't you give the GOP a try? Give conservatives a try. Not the GOP, because they're just as manipulative. You know, why don't we give somebody that can really create a different kind of paradigm for those cities that are suffering, for the people in the inner cities and education? Why don't we change the paradigm instead of going forward? Well, we can't we? Why is it? What's the problem? Why aren't we doing this? You know, Tesla. Let's talk about Elon Musk for a second. You know what Elon is doing? Elon is using, and he has a huge reservoir of all the research that they've been doing in terms of artificial intelligence. He has a humanoid robot called the Tesla bot coming to you soon. The Tesla bot. What is a Tesla bot? No, that's not a joke. Tesla released many details about its progress to develop AI and technology to power its self-driving system. And there's one more thing moment, and it was the robots. Musk announced that Tesla plans to build a humanoid robot called Tesla Bot. Remember I told you on the show the reason why they have all this language change in terms of being male or female? Remember I talked about that? We're getting ready for either alien invasion or artificial intelligence. And humans being combined with artificial intelligence. Well, the Tesla bot, Elon Musk described as the biggest robotic company in the world. And he's using these advancements in computer vision, but instead of deploying a robot on 4 wheels, the company will do it in a humanoid robot. Yes. People want to see my eyes. The light's not good for my eyes. My last vestiges of my vanity. Anyway, so Tesla said it will be geared to doing repetitive, boring, and dangerous tasks. So he's going to do this. So the robot, it's very interesting what it can do. It could, it has a carry capacity of 45 pounds. It's 5'8". The weight of the humanoid is 125 pounds. It could deadlift 150 pounds. And the speed is about 5 miles per hour. And it can arm extend lift 10 pounds. So he's using it for different tasks, repetitive tasks, boring tasks, shopping. You'll be able to tell your humanoid right now we have people doing that. You can go to the market, any market, Whole Foods. You can go to Ralph's or Vons, and people are, they've got jobs now. Amazon. So that's all going to be robotic, aren't they? We've got robotic. And what will that do to jobs? I think that will gut the job market, won't it? So a lot of people will be learning to do something else. What will they be learning to do, I pray tell? I'd like to know what they'd be learning to do. Do you know? I don't. What would they be learning to do? See, he also sees universal income for all. Yeah. Didn't Will Smith do a movie about robots? Did he do? What was it called? And what was it about, Nick? Talk to me about that film.
It was about artificial intelligence taking over and taking jobs and stuff like that.
Right.
They became hostile and wanted to attack us and stuff like that.
Oh, could that happen? See, the bots intended to be friendly and navigate through the world, built for humans. They're developing it so humans can run away from it and overpower it easily. Why is that? That humans can run away from it? Because in case something else happens. So he's also talking about universal income. Because if we're going to take all these jobs away from people, we need universal. So I wonder if it would pick fruit. We have all these migrants out there. Do we need the migrants then if we're going to have... Will that affect them? Interesting what it's going to lead to the future. Tesla's Frankenstein. Anyway, listen, guys, look at those ballots. We have to recall Gavin Newsom. He's made a mess of California. Now he's backtracking. He's got the political machine and the media machine and all those idiots that speak out against everyone but yet the Democratic Party and what they've done. On Monday, I'm going to talk about the Screen Actors Guild, the tragedy inside the Screen Actors Guild. So please, put it down. I'll see you all on Monday. And God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yeah. A little tired today. Bye.
Are you tired of your favorite talk show sounding like this? What if you can hear your favorite talk shows in crystal clear, high-definition sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio, 7 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in true CRN high-definition audio. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Michael Medved, Tom Hartman, Stephanie Miller, Larry Elder, Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk, and more. Fred Dreyer on sports, entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Lounge, The What's Cooking Show, The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN high-definition audio.